So Sergeant Gospel did a video, and I'm going to put the link to his video in the description box below. It was so powerful that I couldn't help but transcribe it. And I want to read through it for you guys. And I want you guys to be able to see the transcription. And there might be parts in parentheses that maybe I kind of put some extra notes in parentheses or something to kind of go along with what he spoke of in that video. So here we go. This is a transcription of his videos with some of my own notes in parentheses. Jesus did not come to obey the 613 commandments for us. Now, this is what I put in parentheses. The 10 commandments were given for us, not Jesus, to magnify, in order to magnify the diagnosis of sin. The 10 commandments were ministrations of death, to magnify the death brought to all mankind through Adam's disobedience. So the 10 commandments on dead stone reflected as a mirror our dead sin. Okay, so back to his transcription. And he didn't. Not all 613 laws. He is far above the law. My own thoughts. Jesus didn't need the law. We did. And the law has to do with sin and death. The law exposes sin, and sin brings about death. And the law cannot stop sin. It, meaning the law, actually increases sin. Jesus came according to his own righteousness, which is not according to the law. The law shadows the righteousness of God in a way that it simply shows that, in a very basic way, that we are foreign to the righteousness of God. We're not of that type of righteousness and never can be. But keeping the law does not, even after we're saved, it does not reconcile us with God, and it doesn't keep us reconciled with God. And so Jesus did not reconcile us to God by his law-keeping life. That wouldn't do it. That wasn't going to do it. It's only his death. His death is what paid the price for sin, not his law-keeping. Most of the 613 laws are for the priest, and Jesus was not a priest according to Aaron. And some of the laws, if you read Leviticus 21, you'll see things that Jesus did that would have broken the high priest, the priestly and the high priestly laws. Jesus couldn't touch lepers if he was going to keep every law. He didn't come to fulfill the priesthood of Aaron. Jesus, came to die so that we could be reconciled to God. It's something completely different. And the priesthood of Aaron only shadows. It only shadows what we now have, which is that Aaron's priesthood was a priesthood according to death, and their sacrifices could not cleanse their conscience. It, meaning their sacrifices, only covered sin. It could not cleanse the conscience, only covered the sin. So it could not cleanse, it only covered. And now we have a high priest, Jesus, who his blood cleanses us from all sin. The law is no longer a factor because we have died with him in his death. And it's all about Jesus's death and our death with him. When you say that Jesus, and it's something to be careful about, and I've done it, in trying to up the standard of what Jesus did or try to express it, we have to be careful what kind of righteousness that we say that he has. His righteousness is according to God. It's far beyond any type or shadow or anything that we've seen before. We're talking about God. So the law it's just a glimpse of the backside of, you're not able to approach God. And that is all the law does. The law just reinforces that you can't approach God. In case you weren't sure, you can't approach God in any way, but Jesus came according to life, the life of God. So I would add here, Jesus came according to life, not law. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except by me. And it wasn't because he was going to keep all the laws. It was because he is life. Sin brings out death. The law exposes sin, and sin brings out death. But Jesus came according to life. So the law just simply shows that we are alienated from the life of God. But Jesus brings us in by his blood, by his death, by his obedience in death, and by his resurrection, we are raised to newness of life so that we can approach God, not according to law keeping. That's not on the menu. It's totally out of the way. We've died to it. But now we approach God according to life. So the law has nothing to do with how we approach God. We approach him by Jesus, who is the life. Amen, Sergeant Gospel.